Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Zinhle, and on this channel I share all things chartered accountancy, career, lifestyle, and everything in between. So y'all have been busy, okay? I took a little bit of a break. From between December and January. And let me tell you, you guys have been busy on the social media, okay? So I've tried, and I think I actually have responded to all of the comments by now that I had and have built up. Hopefully I have responded to everyone, but as far as I know, I have. And I just thought it would be a good idea to compile some of those questions, because maybe there's other people who maybe have the same questions. I've also seen quite a number of questions coming up more than once, twice, 3 times. So I thought, let me do a refresher of the Q&A that I did last year. Okay, so this is CA Q&A 2024. So let's get into the questions. All right. So the first question says, is it possible to become a CA after doing a diploma in accounting? Yes, actually I did a whole video about various starting points into getting onto the path to being a CASA. One of those points was, if you complete a diploma in accountancy, then you are able to do a 1-year bridging course that will take you into a PGDA or CTA that is CICA accredited. So definitely you can be able to do that. And then next one, hi, I will be studying BCom Accounting CA stream next year at NWU, but I didn't do accounting in high school. Do you have any tips for me? So this one, I get this question a lot, and a lot of people, especially those who are in high school, grade 9 up until, matric or what have you, will maybe go into the subject choice phase of their lives and maybe not take accounting, or want to know if they should take accounting, or if taking accounting is going to give them the upper hand, or if taking other subjects is going to put them at a disadvantage if they want to follow sort of the route to becoming a chartered accountant, right? So guys, the accounting that you study at high school is not really real accounting, okay? It's more bookkeeping. So in high school you learn how to balance a general ledger, how to do a CPJ, CRJ. You learn more about source documents more than actual accounting, okay? And when you get to university, basically everybody sort of starts more or less on the same level, because everything that you will learn is completely new from scratch, okay? The only advantage that I can say that people who did accounting have in university is the fact that they've heard about something called the accounting equation before, okay? But it's quite an easy and fundamental principle to grasp. So don't worry about it if you are maybe in grade 10 or grade 11 and you now want to become a chartered accountant in future, and you think you didn't take accounting as one of your subjects. That's perfectly fine. Accounting is actually not a prerequisite subject in order for you to carry on with the CA route. It's incredibly hot, you guys. Sorry if you see me sweating. So it's not a prerequisite for anything, okay? So don't worry about it. And if you are starting on your CA stream degree this year, first of all, congratulations on passing matric and getting yourself into the program. But no, you're not at a disadvantage at all, and you're not behind from any of your peers, all right? All right, next question. I'm doing a BCom Financial Management now. Which postgraduate qualification can I do? So, okay, this question, it's not really full for me because I feel like maybe the person is asking what postgraduate qualification can I do to become a CA, or what postgraduate qualification can I do with the BCom Financial Management. So I'm not really sure, all right? But if you do want to become a CA and you have a BCom Finance, BCom Ecos and Finance, BCom Financial Management, what you would do is you would enroll in a bridging course, and then thereafter you will do your PGDA or your CTA, right? If you are wondering what other postgraduate qualifications you can do with the BCom Financial Management, the options are endless, okay? You can maybe do a BCom Honors in the same, field, BCom Honors in Finance. You can maybe do something called PFMA, so it's like postgraduate in, financial management as well. You can, there's a lot you can do. You can do banking and finance, postgrad in that, various honors programs. So literally sky is the limit as to what you can do with that. So that's why I'm like, I don't really know where the question is going, but I hope I've answered you if you were asking about the CASA route, right? All right, next question. Can you please tell us the difference between PGDA and honors? Okay, so PGDA stands for Postgraduate Diploma in Accounting or Accounting Sciences, accountancy, different names for different universities, all right? And then honors, it would be obviously accounting honors. So now we are basically asking what is the difference between doing an honors in accounting and doing a PGDA, okay? So the PGDA is a postgraduate diploma, first of all, and a lot of that has to do with just, coursework, theory, and all of that stuff. And it's a diploma. The honors in accounting, as much as there's a lot of coursework that you will be doing that is the same as the people who are doing CTA and PGDA, but you also have another leg that is research. So that means that you a lot of your curriculum also includes you having to do some kind of research. The main difference between the two is the research component of the honors degree, and also the honors degree obviously is a degree, but in terms on NQF level, they're both on the same NQF level, but it's just the one is just coursework and theory, the other one is coursework, theory, and research. So I hope that answers your question. All right, next. Is it possible to still get a job in South Africa with ACCA? 100% yes, you are still able to get a job if you pursue the ACCA qualification. Next, oh my gosh, it's so freaking hot. I can't even put my fan on because it's gonna make a noise. But hope you bear with me. We'll be done in a few minutes. Okay, so the next question, what subject do you need to become a chartered accountant? Again, this one doesn't tell me which level you're speaking about. So if you are speaking about, in high school, the prerequisite subjects that you need to at least have is mathematics as well as English. And then you'll be able to be admitted into a CA stream, degree, right? But you can also do it if you have maths literacy, but there's just, some steps that you have, that you have to do. Some universities require you to write a conversion exam. Some universities will let you get on the CA program if you do the extended degree program within that. So there's different ways for different universities. I did a whole video about how you can become a CA with Maths Lit. So make sure that you, after this video, you go and check that out if you have not already. And then in terms of varsity, obviously each varsity has, different coursework, but the core subjects that you have in, your CA degrees, CTAs, as well as board exams, boils down to financial accounting or financial reporting, management accounting and finance, tax and auditing. So those are your 4 core areas when it comes to pursuing being a chartered accountant. All right, next, what if you have a diploma in accountancy from a University of Technology? So also this one, similar to the first question we had, diploma in accountancy can get you into a bridging course, which can get you into a psycho-accredited CTA. Right, then the next one says, hey, is CA a stressful job? Because I'm thinking of doing my BCom next year. Okay, I know I know when you ask chartered accountants what do you do, they always say I'm a chartered accountant. Okay, but chartered accountancy is not a specific job, it's a professional designation. Okay, so there are various jobs within the chartered accountancy field. But I get what the question was asking. I just thought, let me just slide that in there so that we're on the same page. Anyways, is it a stressful job? Hey, look, I feel like any job is stressful, at times, because each job, whether you are self-employed, I'm sure people who are self-employed will tell you the same thing. I'm sure people who audit will tell you the same thing. People who are in banking will tell you the same thing. People in any industry will tell you the same thing. Work gets stressful at times. But as long as it's something where you feel fulfilled, then I don't think the stress will get that much to you. But if you are stressed and you're unhappy and you're under tremendous amount of pressure, then I think that's where you need to evaluate maybe jumping into something else. But I feel like if something is stressful but you feel fulfilled, you feel like you're walking in your purpose, you feel like this is a step to where you want to see yourself, you find joy in the stressful days, then yeah, it will be stressful, but at the same time it's stress that you can manage because you can back it up with something that comes internally. Right. And then how is it quite top? I want to do my articles in it. Okay, so I've got a lot of these. How is it in top? If you are not aware, top is training outside of public practice. Now I trained inside of public practice because I did an audit traineeship, but now I'm working outside of audit, so I'm kind of outside of public practice right now, right? And the one thing that I can say is I really enjoy it outside of public practice. Umnandi, you learn different things. You learn different things. Every day comes with its own interesting things. Okay, but one thing that I can say maybe is a disadvantage for me is that sometimes I feel disconnected from the accounting community. I feel disconnected. Of course, there's like CPD that I have to complete. There's CPD that I have to like do that makes me up to date with like all of the new things that come out all of the time. But I just feel like I don't know, it just feels like I'm not in it, I'm not in it, and that's one of the disadvantages that I feel, because I love accounting. I love the theory of everything. I love to know what are the new standards, how do you apply them, what if this happens, then does this apply? Like, I love that kind of thing, and I don't work with that on a daily basis. So that's one of the disadvantages that I feel. But all in all, being outside of public practice, love it loads. Would I recommend for you to do articles outside of public practice? Listen, if you already know the industry that you want to go into for the rest of your life, then by all means go into it. But if you are someone who still needs to explore what you like, what you would like to work in, what you want to pursue, the industry that interests you the most, then I feel like going into a traineeship outside of public practice is going to limit you, because if you do it that way, then you'll sort of be stuck with the sort of industry that you trained in, right? So you can't revert to audit. You can't, go back and do something else other than what you're trained in. Whereas if you do an auditing traineeship, then after that you can do anything under the sun. So that's why if you were to ask me audit inside or outside, I will always say inside, unless you are absolutely sure what you want to do with the rest of your life. That's all I'm going to say. Hi, I'm currently doing BCom General, but my wish after getting the BCom General degree is to go to the CA path. How do I go about that? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. What you would do is complete a bridging course, then you would do CTA after. But then at some universities, if you are doing like a BCom General, what you can do is write like a conversion exam, and then you'll be able to get into PGDA or CTA. How it worked at UCT, I'll speak about UCT more because that's the program that I'm familiar with. What you could do if you were doing BCom General, because BCom CA stream and BCom General for the most part are the same thing. The only difference is that in your third year of studying, which is the final year, the ones who are doing BCom General do something called corporate reporting. Yes, so you do something called corporate reporting, and then the ones that are doing the CA stream, they do financial reporting, which is the one that is the prerequisite to get into PGDA, right? So what you can do if you are UCT and you're doing the general stream, what you can do is you can enroll. So you add these two courses, so you add BAG and you add financial reporting as one of your subjects, so that you can be able to get into PGDA the following year. At other schools, they'll make you write a conversion exam, because like for the most part, you do all the same classes, you write all the same exams. It's just that some of the stuff is different, and the stuff that is different is probably very minimal. Okay, so some schools will let you write conversion exams, some schools will make you do a bridging course. Okay, but there's always ways to get yourself there. Okay, so if you are currently at a school and you really want to pursue this, then I'd say talk to your course conveners, because they will be able to show you ABCD, looking at your transcript and looking at everything, and advise you how you can do it. Okay, but it is possible, to answer your question. Okay, next, would you advise someone over 30 to quit their customer service job to complete their studies, doing second year BAc, hoping to get great marks? And I get this over 30 question quite a lot. Okay, 30 is young, y'all. 30 is young, over 30 for me is like 30 to 39, right? If you put it into perspective, the oldest people in that bracket have about 21 years until retirement, and the youngest people have about 30 years to retirement. That is a long time. That is a very, very long time to be working and not adding much to your retirement, not adding much to your career growth, just being frustrated and stagnant. Okay, if you look at it that way, the few years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years that you will sacrifice in order to become a CA, it's really small considering how much of an impact that is going to do to your earning capability, number one, and also the career progression opportunities. So it's either you sit in your job that you're in, where you won't see much career progression, you won't see much pay progression, or you sacrifice those few years, try get your CASA, and then jump straight jump straight to up here when it comes to career progression as well as earning potential. So I don't know, man, depends how risk averse you are, but I would definitely, because I've been through the journey and I've sacrificed that amount of time studying towards this thing, trying to get this thing, working hard to get this thing, and now being on the other side of it, seeing what can be done with this thing in such a short amount of time, I would say yes all day, every day. Something that would have taken you 20 years worth of a career to get to, positions that would have taken you 20 years to get to, boardrooms that would have taken you 30 years to enter, will take you 1 to 5 years as a CASA, right? And then you've got the rest of your life to build the career that you want, and earning how much you want and adding as much as you can to your retirement fund. You are still very young. 30 is very, very young. Like, don't be afraid to do things. If you didn't do things in your 20s and all of a sudden in your 30s you feel like you should do them, it's not too late. There's no shame in not having everything figured out at 30 to 35. Some people do, and that's great for them, guys. But some of us in our 30s are just we're still trying to figure ourselves out, and I feel like people don't talk about that enough. People expect you, once you reach 30, to have everything just like neatly packaged. You adulting now, like for real. But you don't have to have it all figured out. If you have a dream that only was burning in your 30s, go after that dream. Doesn't have to be the CASA dream, but whatever it was, whatever it is, whatever you've always wanted to do but have been afraid to do it in your 30s. And I feel like in your 30s you have so much of a better chance because you are more mature. You've done the working thing, you've done the slacking off thing, you've done the partying thing, and right now you're looking towards like future. You like, when I'm 40, this is how I want my life to be, and you have the courage to be able to implement those things. You have the knowledge, you have the wisdom to be able to do those things without getting distracted as you were in your 20s. So don't even think about it. Those 7 years are a drop in the ocean compared to the rest of your life. Like, literally, I would advise anyone to do it. If it's what you want to do, if you want to become an engineer right now, I would say do it. If you are thinking, you know what, I wish I was a doctor, do it. And I say, if it's gonna better your life, that's 7 years, 6 years, 5 years. If you want to be an attorney now, age ain't nothing but a number, child. Because the thing that these qualifications do for you, it can never be undone. It can never be undone. And yes, granted, there are people in those fields who struggle to, get it together, find jobs, make money, but give yourself a chance. At least give yourself a chance. Anyways, next, how long does it take to officially become a CASA when you start from diploma in accounting sciences? I'm 22. I will be starting this year. All right, so let's say you've got your diploma in accounting sciences. No, actually, let's start before. Okay, so if you're going to do a diploma in accounting sciences, that is going to take you 3 years to do. And then you're going to do a bridging course, which is 1 year. Okay, then you're going to do your PGDA / CTA, and depending on if you're doing, your PGDA full-time or part-time, right? So let's pretend for a moment that while you're doing your PGDA year, you're also pursuing your articles, right? So you'll have to do 3 years of articles. So 1, 2, 3. So already we are on year 8. And during your articles, right? So say you pass your CTA in your first year of your articles, and then in the second year of your articles, at the beginning, you are going to do your first board exam, and then towards the end of your second year of your articles, you do your second board exam. Okay, so all in all, it's going to take you 8 years starting from diploma in accountancy. Okay, so yeah. And then next, would a person struggle to find a job after registering as a CASA? Now, you shouldn't struggle to find a job because, number one, there's a worldwide shortage of CASAs. But I know that there are people who do. There are people who do struggle to find jobs. And I've had some interesting conversations with people at various HR departments, and they like to say that the worst resumes or the worst CVs that they've ever seen in their lives come from people who are chartered accountants. Yes. So the opportunities are there, the opportunities are endless, but I think maybe one thing that we lack as CASAs is the component of being able to structure our resumes, the component maybe of being able to take interviews, right? So if you do have an in-demand skill, a worldwide in-demand skill, where there's a shortage of vacancies worldwide, and you're just unable to secure the bag or a job in that field, then it boils down to how well written is your CV. How well do you take interviews? Are you able to sell yourself to these people? How often are you applying? What is the quality of your applications? Because the HR is crying. Okay, so I think it's worthwhile, getting help with regards to structuring our human resources affairs kakuhle, which is why I say you shouldn't struggle, but I know that there are people who do struggle, which it doesn't make sense to struggle since there is a worldwide shortage of chartered accountants. So it boils down to how well you can present yourself on paper and also in interviews. So it's maybe something that if you are one person who is struggling with your CASA to find a job, maybe it's worthwhile to see an expert. And you don't have to pay money for those. There are quite a few on TikTok. There are quite a number of experts on YouTube as well that can just help you level up your applications. And then I want to do a higher certificate in accounting, science at UNISA. So is it possible after completing that higher certificate to switch to other universities? Yes, you are able to, because if you are applying to another university, you would need to do, your normal application process, and instead of writing grade 12 as your highest qualification, you would write your higher certificate as your highest qualification. Okay, so yeah, you can do it that way. And also, some universities, you just need to bear in mind, some universities won't take a higher certificate, and some universities are a lot more democratic. They will take a higher certificate, so just bear that in mind. And have a chat with admissions, so that when you're doing your application that you're on the same page. All right, next, how hard is it to secure articles after CTA if one passed with 50s throughout the course? Guys, when it comes to you passing CTA, a win is a win. A win is a win, guys. Like, literally, as long as you have your CTA. And granted, there are some programs, I won't lie, there are some programs that are very competitive and will only take 70%ers, 80%ers, but for the most part, majority of the spaces that are available at places where you can do articles, babes, as long as you have your CTA, honey. As long as you have your CTA, it doesn't matter if you had 50s, doesn't matter if you passed all of your subjects, as long as you will find articles. Okay, another one. Hi, is your job difficult? Again, your job, guys. Yes, my job gets stressful because I am an introvert, and my job requires a very extroverted kind of person. So yes, it gets stressful sometimes, trying to have that internal battle, but girl, trying to have that internal battle between my introvert, extrovert self. Trying to have that internal battle, but level of difficulty, I don't think it's challenging at all. It's that component where you have to put yourself out there in order to be successful at it. And as an introvert, that is my worst nightmare, but I think I found my rhythm. And I have found ways to cope on the days where I'm feeling extremely introverted. I don't know, maybe I can make a video about how to survive an extrovert's job as an introvert. But yeah, and obviously because it is work, it gets stressful at times, because your job, guys. I don't know if there's a person in the world who has an easy job that is not stressful. Let me know in the comments if you are one of those people. But for the most part, your job. Right. Is it possible to register all modules, even the ones you passed, after failing a module in BCTA in order to qualify for CTA at UNISA? So I'm guessing when it comes to BCTA, you have to do all your subjects in one. You have to pass all your subjects in one in order to move on to CTA, right? Just like how in CTA, you have to pass all your modules in one sitting in order to qualify for ITC, I think, right? So yes, you are able to re-register for the modules that you failed in order to get into CTA. Yeah, well, if the prerequisite to get into CTA is to pass everything in one sitting, then yes, you do have to re-register even for the ones that you passed. But if it's not a prerequisite for you to do it that way, then obviously just do the ones you failed. But yeah, if it is a prerequisite, you are able to re-register for those. People do, yeah. Okay, hello sis. I've just registered for CTA at UNISA. Congratulations. It's my first time doing distance learning. Please share your insights and advice. I am a bit anxious. Guys, distance learning, perfect distance learning for me, it came easy because I love to learn things at my own pace. Yabo into mna ndibamba lula mna, you know. So if ingase ndihambe ngale pace yam, and then some days I don't feel like doing stuff, so ingase ndingabe forced to. So distance learning was perfect for me because I'm that kind of person, yabo. But what I can say is, first of all, I did a whole video of my UNISA experience. Feel free to go and watch that on my channel as well. One thing I can say about distance learning is to keep organized. That is going to help you a lot because, number one, there's not going to be anybody who is on your back about, you know, doing things on time, handing in assignments. I don't even think we had assignments at UNISA. No, I don't think we had assignments. Did we? I don't remember having assignments. So literally they give you your tutorial letter, you work through it, you go and sit down for a test, and that is that. Do you know what I mean? So like no one is keeping track of what you are doing in your time. So you need to be mature, you need to be organized. But one thing I can say is don't be afraid, you know. Don't be afraid. It's not as overwhelming as your anxiety probably tells you it is. As long as you keep to your schedule, you keep to what you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis, then you should be fine, you know. You should be fine. It's nothing scary. It's not this big monster that is trying to eat you up, you know. If you do what is required to do, then you should be fine. Next, how can we contact you in order to get help? Because really some of us have no information at all, and we are mostly and partially at the beginning of starting with our first year at university. Please help me with your handles, maybe WhatsApp or Instagram. Okay, so this is actually not the first question I had. Another question I had was in the DMs on TikTok, I think it was, where someone asked me if I've got space to take mentors. Another one asked me when are my tutoring times or something like that, like times where I'm tutoring people. And I don't know if this is something that you guys are interested in, you know. Literally, I want to hear from you guys. Like, would you like me to maybe take a few people as mentors and just maybe take them for a year or something? Or maybe, you know, have like a group, a mentorship group where we are just a small group of people and we share ideas. You guys can ask me things, you know, something like that. I don't know, I haven't thought about it, you know. I don't want to say it's a course, because obviously it will be free of charge, but I'm just asking if it's something that you guys are interested in, to, you know, have me opening up some mentorship positions, you know. Maybe for the first time I'll maybe take 5 people who are studying, and then we'll have that. Let me know, actually, guys. I don't know, you know, even the ones who are interested in tutoring, okay, is that something you're interested in? Would you do it virtually? Would you do it in conjunction to maybe NMU, because I am in Gqeberha, and I do know somebody or people at NMU in the accounting department. So I don't know, is that something that you guys are interested in, to have like, to go with me through like a mentorship program or like a tutoring program, or maybe have like a quick exam sort of like group that we do, and we prepare for exams, and then you guys ask me questions, or just take you through, you know, like your first year of university, what you need and all of that stuff. Just let me know, because now I'm getting all these ideas. Let me know what it is that you would look for in something like, in like a mentorship course that would be free. Okay, obviously it would be free. The last thing I'd want to do is charge you for a mentorship opportunity, especially while you're a student literally trying to figure things out. So yeah, articles, all of that stuff, you know. So we would chat on the side, obviously. I do have a mentee currently. I was supposed to meet with my mentee. Okay, anyway, yeah, let me know. All right. Hi Zintle, I actually wanted to ask you, do you think it'll be possible to be a CASA if I'm studying BCom in financial management? I think we've covered this one. Yes, you can. How many years does it take to finish BCom accounting? BCom accounting is 3 years. Hi there, at UNISA, do I apply for 98230 CT1 being advanced diploma in accounting sciences in the theory of accounting, or 9830 FAC being advanced diploma in accounting sciences, financial accounting? So you would apply for the first one, the CT stream. All right, and that concludes the questions that I have received thus far. Hopefully I've been able to answer some questions that you had, but if you do have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section and I will just answer those. Also guys, if you see comments on, you know, my videos and you feel like you know the answer, feel free to share your knowledge with, you know, the subbies. And thank you so much for watching guys. I will see you next week for another video. Bye.